Well, hey, good morning, guys. It's I, Grandpaw Peter Koyote, coming to you once again here from Crestone, Colorado, the center of the universe. Well, at least some people think it is, you know. Sure has that kind of energy. It's a beautiful place of being, you know. But those of you who are a little on the rugged side and can take a little bit of hardship, you know, and duck and weave a little in life, hell, you ought to try this place out sometime. It might fit you, you know. But those of you that are stuck on the city life, best just stay there if if that's what you enjoy, because it ain't easy out here. Yeah, but it's a beautiful place of being. And if you really want change in your life and you're ready for it, well, Crestone might be your place of being. It's only here for a few folks, not for the many. But those of you that feel the call, well, here you go. This is the place, man, you know, or one of them. Well, me and old Angel Dog, she's sitting down here snoozing away behind me. We're tripping along here on the magic bus this morning, and you know, been a lot of really amazing experience since we had our little intergalactic gathering here in Crestone, Colorado. Boy, I'm a broken record. And you see, it's created an energy, that little gathering, that's kind of spreading out and touching people's hearts, my own included, and it's kind of helped head us in an interesting direction. You know, we're like changing our attitudes towards the way we live. Now, just a few certain hearts are being led in this way at the moment. Everybody has the inclination, but at the moment it's in a few hearts. It will spread like wildfire. But we're feeling this, we've been feeling this need to interconnect with people for quite some time. But we've got all the built-in base fears and all that goes with it. It's kind of been holding us back, you know. Those of us that are different and that do things differently and have done, I mean, we're considered freaks in our younger days, and probably still are in many ways, but we're coming around. We're feeling something more than need now. We're actually beginning to experience the connectedness with one another and beginning to recognize who we are as far as energetic human beings that match. And it's more than just two, a man and a woman or some other odd combination, but still male and female energies. You know, that's where it begins. That's where it starts. And that's only a beginning. We've been taught that that's the ultimate love. All of our songs and poetry and most of our books and history, you know, tell us that it's the one-on-one thing, man, that you find one other person you love and you let your love in that little container expand, spread, do what it will, make babies, have fun, whatever. But that's it. That's where it begins and ends. And it isn't accurately so. You know, this is part of how we've been controlled and brainwashed and held down. Because you get these two people together and they're going through constant adjustment and economic struggles and everything else together, you know, but you're kind of isolated from the world when that's happening, kids. You know, you're not really there inside yourselves. You know, you're often completely distracted and made to feel like that it's tough, even dealing with one another, let alone with the world around you. You're isolated, insulated. Well, at least in this country and most of the Western countries we are, and some of the others are a little more interconnected still. They know they're relying upon one another. Here, shit, we're ignorant to it all. It just revolves around this little circle right here, you know. Who's this one person, and how much can they get? I mean, geez. It's just not right, the way we've been isolated, and made to pair up, and it's no wonder, that the marriage unit is breaking down, and, family life ain't what it once was, and so forth. Well, it never was all that great to begin with. I'm sorry, folks, but we've had some good times, and we've learned a lot. But if one thing we've learned is that don't work. This ain't the way it's supposed to be. We can only go halfway with that. Not even a fourth, really. It starts with developing this love between two people, yes, and maybe a third. But that's the beginning. You see, we're moving into times of change, huge transitions, and this is one of the most basic that is changing. You notice relationships are becoming extremely difficult, and many people that have been together for a while are going their separate ways, and other people are getting together. I mean, it's like a complete reshuffle of the deck. We don't play by the old rules anymore, and this is happening pretty much worldwide. You can't stay in a relationship where there really isn't much love. I mean, you got love, you got respect, you got comfort, and sometimes you settle for a lot less than what you deserve, Well, if you're one of those beings, which most of us are, you're being asked out of it, whisked out of it. It's being taken away. What little magic you found there, you'll carry with you to the next place you go and the next person you see and be with. But you're not going to stay where you've been. It don't work that way anymore. But you'll know when you feel this deep sense of connectedness with someone. And you might be misled a time or two. No, we're sorting it out. It's okay, to make a mistake or two along the way, and sometimes a lot more than one or two, because we're human. And we're learning to be ourselves again, and learning to come back into ourselves. And this is, a small part of it, but it's at the core of things. It's essential. It's central. It's about undoing the yin and yang, kind of. You know what I mean? It's really like merging them together. Experiencing life on a whole new level in a whole new way. And if you think that love can be contained between two people, well, guess what? There ain't no containing that kind of love. When you experience the mystical heart of another, as well as their physical and soul presence, you're experiencing the fullness of a human being, such as you never have before. No one, or hardly anyone, has ever gotten there. For all the fooling around we've done through all these centuries and eons of time, it's been a long time since this kind of connectedness has been practiced. And it's just barely starting to come back. I'm sorry, all you kundalinis and houdinis that have it down so good and, can practice, Tantra till you're blue in the face. You ain't got it either. You might be getting close, some of you, those that aren't too greedy about it. And it's another thing, the little power trips that people play in this intimate area, for manipulation and control and whatever other weak and insecure reasons we can come up with to try and use one another. You think that's going to work any longer? Just try. Just keep doing it and see what happens, baby. Same in all areas of life, but this is the one where it begins and ends. This is the core, the essential being, the essential person, the essential connection, baby. So it's not something you can trifle with for much longer. Those of you that have been players, well, You're going to find out what playing really is. Same with all of us. I mean, this is not a condemnation. It's merely a change. Not a condemnation of our old ways. They were quite valuable to us in whatever way, for whatever reason. They seemed to work when they did. And that was good enough. And got us to here, to where we are. And now it's getting us to where we're going, because it's kicking us the hell out of the old comfort zone. And those of you of the essential family here, the beings of the heart, you're feeling it the most, and you just aren't going to be staying anywhere that it's untrue. You know, it just won't work for you, so you might as well get with the flow, get with the program, and be who you are. Get comfortable in this person first. Bring this one back together. We've got our essential pains. I don't care how damned enlightened you already are. You've got your essential pain to deal with. And it's time to finish the course with that. And this helps end the duality within yourself, the sense of division. You begin to recognize things that you thought were separate from yourself as a part of yourself. It all starts to come together. It's good to have some alone time and do this and help yourself get back together, you know, in this meditative, communicative way. Notice the essential parts that seem broken away. That which seems alien and foreign to you. Begin to question, look, search, go into it. You might be surprised at what you see. Because all of it is us. All of it is one being, one person inside of you, and inside of this grander person, too, in which we live. It's an experience. And it's meant to be expansive, but it's been contractive so that it could expand ever more greatly when it does recycle to the expansive place. But even as it's contracting, it's expanding into experience that it hasn't known before. That's what we've created here in the human dynamic. And you know, you can listen to all of this talk from these New Agers and the ET channelers and stuff. This hasn't been done before. The human experience is rather unique in the universe, you know. So it may have been done in other universes, yeah, elsewhere, of course. But as far as this universe goes, it's kind of a unique experience, and that's why there's so much interest here from the so-called ETs, you know. And I know a lot of you folks try not to believe in such things. But the evidence is becoming more and more apparent, and there's hardly a soul you can talk to now that hasn't seen at least one weird object in the sky. I mean, it's happening. But what you're seeing there, besides some military applications, is the thinning of the veil between the dimensions. You know, we've been kind of isolated here in this earth dynamic and made to feel alone and small and little, you know, and overpowered by the forces of nature and the earth around us, you know, and even the people around us, you know, and subdue ourselves to governments and kings and queens and dark agents of evil and all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? We just seem to know what to do to get along here, and sometimes it's not too decent, you know. We can be pretty ugly with one another. But even that form of darkness is finding its way out the door. And those of you that have practiced brutality and callousness and have cut yourself off from any feeling, you know, had to, you know, and were basically forced to because you went through the rituals when you were a kid, and you know exactly what I mean. Well, the feeling's coming back. So you be ready for that too. All of us, on all levels in this earth, the feeling is returning to everything you do. And this is going to bring about some essential honesty we haven't known before. Because you won't be able to lie your way around the feelings, or no one else can lie to you. Because you feel, and what you feel you know, and what you know you trust. It might be a little tricky for you at first, but a lot of you are doing it already. But it's expanding, this feeling. So we go back to that essential core person. We put this person back together inside of ourselves, and, you know, we may already be joined with a person that is an essential half of yourself. You may not be, but you'll draw them to you. They'll be drawn to you. You will begin there and expand outward. I mean, the love, the flow, the consciousness will take you to new levels of living forms of expression that human beings haven't known since the beginning of time. That's your planetary ascension. It's a very personal thing. A one-on-one thing. It expands into 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 billion and 7 billion and whatever the number is, you know, to the point where we're so essentially in love with our living being and person that we can't pass. We cannot encounter another person here that doesn't reflect that back to you. You know, to be as in love with every being that lives as you would be with an intimate partner. Now think about this. Let your mind expand and wrap around the concept. The heart will show it the way. And we're not talking about wanton debauchery or anything of the sort. That stuff goes out the window too. All the cheesiness, all the stupidity, the numbness that we've experienced in our intimate ways, our intimate areas, is dissolving. And when someone touches you, or you touch someone else, you begin to feel in this deeper way. And the knowing comes to you. Some of you might feel a bit overwhelmed at first, because people carry a lot of weird energies. But you're there to see them and love them for whatever it is they're carrying. It's not easy. We've been so taught to judge and push one another away and push each other around. But that sort of thinking dissolves away. The feeling dissolves it. Let the feeling dissolve it. Don't fight with the feeling. As it begins, go with the flow. Or as much as you can. Understanding it's got to be proven to yourself. You're a Missouri mule when it comes to that. Stubborn as hell. And you won't move until you're sure of it. At least not in this area. A lot of us do impulsive things, but this one, because it is such a huge step in its own way, a huge leap for humanity, far grander than ever going to the moon or any of the other stars and planets. It's going to the center of our own universe, understanding who we are and what we're here to do. And it ain't work as grunts and slaves, let me tell you, that is not our function here. And we'll do that for a while yet. Not much longer. Babies, we love you. And we're just here to help all of us prepare for what's in us now. For the changes that are already becoming through us. Becoming us. The changes that we are. The changes that we be. And then, man, the old man's stumbling on his words a bit. It's awesome. My old mind is like, wow. Stretch. You know? Babies, we love you. Be willing. Be ready. That's all that is really necessary, you know. The rest of it, shoot. You're already forgiven for it. Just let it go. You know, understand it if you can. Just let it go. Past isn't such a burden anymore, because we needed to know how it felt not to feel. We needed to know the numbness, the hardness that can come into a being, a person, and occupy them, shut them down, to feel powerless when we're really the essence of creation. But to feel robbed of all of that, and this deep pain, this sense of loss, and low self-worth because we thought we gave it all away and would never get it back. We had to know that. We had to feel that. That desperation. It's as deep and as dark and as you can imagine. But feel the lightness in it. Feel the value of that experience. And when you can learn to appreciate and embrace that, when you've done that, the rest of it is simple and easy. Just be willing to go there, do that. Experience it. And you'll know what to do. Your feelings will lead you in these new ways. And it won't be a challenge. It'll be a pleasure, a joy, to find the acceptance in yourself of what you knew could always potentially be, but was far too amazing to even contemplate. Stretched our souls to even want to experience such things, let alone to imagine them. And here they come. We don't even know what love is yet, compared to what's coming into being now. That's how dramatic this shift is. But it's personal. Don't look for the big hoogie-boogie in the sky just yet. It's in you. And her and him too. All of us. Together. As a singular consciousness moving with singular focus in a singular direction, even though we seem obliterated and scattered. Feel it, you know it. Trust it, you love it. Love it, you're living. And that's what we're here to share with you today. Keep on rocking and rolling, kids. Grandpa loves you. And so does my sleeping little angel, too. Take care now.